Okay, I just briefly want to talk about an overview of the next tab. After Porifera and through Mollusca, we're going to start worms through Arthropoda, or the arthropods. So item number 1 is vocabulary. It's just for all the worms, but it's a lot of vocab. Item number 2 will be your invert book that we started the unit before. We carried over to this unit, add more notes. At the end of this unit, it will finally be taken for a grade. So let's talk about the Asian liver fluke. The Asian liver fluke, it's a life cycle, so we really could start anywhere. Whenever you hear a host or a vector, that's who's carrying it. So we could start with, let's say, host number 1 is a fish. We'll start with that. So for your fish, the fish is infected where it consumes the Asian liver fluke, like it's aquatic, okay? So then the fish is consumed by the human, and typically when it's consumed, it's because we're not cooking the fish, we're not preparing the fish appropriately, so the human ingests it, so the human would be host number 2. It actually goes to our digestive system, parts of our large and small intestines. It's in an immature form, but as it's feeding off of us, it matures into an adult. Well, it can really damage us. It can even kill somebody, okay? Cause fatigue, cause digestive issues, malnutrition. One thing goes in, something else comes out, and these people typically aren't eating well anyway. They have bad hygiene and so on. Well, since they have bad hygiene, they go pop a squat, they go to the bathroom, and in their excretion are those eggs. Those eggs are then picked up something by like a snail, which would be host number 3. And then, you know, the snail's near a body of water where it excretes, lets go of the Asian. The cycle can just continue. Item number 4 is the life cycle of a beef tapeworm. For the beef tapeworm, again, here we go. It is a life cycle, so you really could start anywhere. And again, we can have multiple hosts. So let's say we start on the grass that a cow is eating. There can be tapeworm eggs. It's ingested by the cow. Cow eats that. That larvae migrate or move to the muscles of the cow. Well, luckily here in the United States, we have a pretty good Food and Drug Administration, and we catch most things, or if we don't catch it right away, we catch it hopefully soon before, you know, anybody gets sick or before too many people get sick. But it goes to that muscle. We, you know, kill the cattle, we consume it, or, you know, human does. I mean, this is especially not going to be happening here, hopefully here in the United States, but maybe in some countries where there's not as good hygiene practices, where there's not a Food and Drug Administration and so on. A human ingests that beef where the tapeworm have formed these cysts. Humans, it likes to go to our intestines because there's lots of nutrition there. Well, the thing about tapeworms is they have these heads that have hooks on them, and let me tell you, these heads just ingrain themselves in the sides of our intestines. And they have these little suckers, all kinds of little suckers or mouths around it, and they just suck all the life out of you. And it's a vicious, continuous life cycle. Item number 5 is your earthworm dissection. Hold on, guys. I gotta go stir the dinner. My bad. Okay, I'm back. So for your earthworm dissection, again, read and highlight. Before you come in for lab day, you also need to answer 1 through 6, all labeling included. During the actual lab, and when you come to turn the lab in, you should have answered all questions under observations and data, and then also under analysis and conclusion. Remember, when you're going to do these labs, it's after you've done notes, after you've done the diagrams. For worm watching lab number 1 and 2, you get to play with live worms.